Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Clone Wars Retrospective. I am the horned Travis Snail.
I am the Dathomirian Taylor Field.
I'm also the eggnog drinking.
Oh, God, get that
Travis
away
Snail.
from me.
Yeah, I knew he'd be gross. They didn't see me bring it in the
so
room, so
gross.
it's great.
I hate eggnog.
Yeah,
Eggnog
you better
is disgusting.
You better talk. If I have any dead air 5 seconds drinking, we get another 2-star review from some whatever jerk guy.
On all your water breaks.
Oh, yeah. What was that
Oh,
guy's name? Let me
God.
pull him up here. Taylor, what's the show about?
This show, ladies and gentlemen, is about the Clone Wars. That's right, it's the Clone Wars retrospective. There's a hair on my beard or on my mic. What the flying fudge? It's somewhere. I can feel it. It's like right near my mouth.
It's just one long pubic hair all the way.
But yeah, we're all about the Clone
Hey,
Wars
kids.
here, and we're last episode we covered the Reiko Hardeen, Moralo Evol, basically the plot against the Chancellor. Now we're moving up the ranks here, and we are nearing. Travis just dying over there,
You don't
dying to
point
get to
that
this
out.
news.
The audio listeners wouldn't even know.
We're so close, ladies and gentlemen, to the end of season 4 of the Clone Wars.
Well, this is the end of season 4.
Yeah,
Well,
we're
we're
getting
about to
so
cover it
close to it though, because we're not on the season 4 finale. We're getting there.
Yeah, I guess so. And the person that left me this review, this one, you can never trust someone like this. Their name was ERB73. That's her name.
It sounds like a droid name from Star
And
Wars.
the 1,000 of hours that I've listened to podcasting, I've not heard as much water drinking as I have in this half an hour. My God, I was sick. I was alone. Come on, people. If you haven't guessed, Taylor didn't really give the full rundown. We're reviewing every single episode of Clone Wars in honor of the revival coming on Disney Plus in February, where we'll be reviewing all episodes. We're not sure what we're doing for that one. We might do episode by episode. We probably will. We don't know how they're releasing it, so we'll figure it out, just like all of you. So, yeah, we're reviewing the last 4 episodes of season 4. We got some great episodes to talk about here. Taylor, where could they? No, that's not. That's not yet. Kill time for 1 second.
Oh gosh, so our movie or our game that we got listed up here is Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic 2: The Sith Lords. Fantastic game, great sequel.
Very good sequel. I won't go as far as great. I think the story gets very murky near the end. Even though I like the idea of Kira or whatever her thing was.
Darth Treya.
Yeah, Darth Treya. Is her name not Kira at all?
I don't remember Kira.
But is it
maybe
like a Count Dooku, Darth
maybe
Diana thing?
yeah.
I could be wrong, but I liked it. I was just also very confused as a kid when you could make your exact avatar as Knights of the Old Republic one, but it's not a continuation of the story. So I just lied to myself and would say it was a continuation of that story, like it's my guy on another adventure. But yeah. Whenever I start talking, Massacre, episode 19. Oh my God. The reason I was clearing my throat is because I got a massive paragraph about to come here.
Oh yeah.
This is longer than all. This is probably all the crawls combined. So here we go. After failing, before I continue, after failing to kill Dooku or control Savage Press, Adventurous is advised by Mother Talzine. So the problem I have is this part one of these things where I should have watched this? Is this like a different weird ordering? Because this feels like it's picking up right after the breakup of Dooku and Asajj.
This basically, because Ventress attempted her assassination attempt, remember, and that failed.
Attempted her assassination attempt.
Yeah.
I think you would just say attempted her assassination. She attempted her assassination attempt. Yeah, she on Dooku, right?
Yeah, so that has failed, and now she's come back, basically.
But that wasn't that season. Was that season 3 or was it this season?
I believe it might have been this season at the beginning.
We were
No, it was season 3.
Yeah.
So
that's what I mean. Like, is it not part of that? Like, there is the other chronological order you can watch it in when it's supposed to happen.
If you watch it in chronological order, that would be where around this time you'd want to watch it leading up to this. Because she's gone.
Why do they do this?
She's gone back to Mother Talzin and is basically shit out of luck.
After failing to kill Dooku or control Savage Press, Asajj Ventress is advised by Mother Talzine to reject the ways of the Sith and rejoin the Night Sisters. Upon discovering Ventress's location, Dooku commands General Grievous to launch a droid assault in a bid to eliminate Ventress and wipe out Mother Talzine. along with the entire Night Sister clan, as Ventress and Grievous square off in a saber combat. They spelled that wrong. Lightsaber. It says saber. In a saber combat, Talzin creates a voodoo doll of Dooku to figuratively kill him. Or figuratively? Figuratively kill him? But that's a lie. She's not figuratively killing him.
What do you mean?
Figuratively is it's a way of speech. Figuratively means like I would say something, but I don't really mean that. Like, oh, that book's probably heavy, right?
I think they just went with a poor. If they spelled lightsaber with a V, I think they probably picked the wrong word for that because she's trying to downright fucking kill him.
I don't know. Yeah,
painfully.
Figuratively, like I want to kill him. Figuratively, that would mean like maybe in a video game. Like let's say I'm playing a game, like I want to kill Taylor. No, I don't even.
Maybe that's what they are going for. She's killing him, but not actually killing him there, but with voodoo.
I'm screwing up because I'm having no luck finding the word. Like I've used the word like figuratively. It's almost like a quotations or like a. Okay, this would be the way. Let's say it'd be like I came to you and let's say what would you feel if you and I bought a house together, figuratively. So it's like it's just kind of like the idea of it.
Well, that's hypothetically.
It's kind of like that. Let's see. Used to indicate a departure from literal use of words. It's great. Let's see. What does it mean to be figuratively speaking? Figuratively means metaphorically. There you go. And literally describes something that actually happened. If you say a guitar solo literally blew your head off your shoulder, your head should not be attached to your shoulder. So figuratively bought that, right? That's what I'm saying. So yeah, you're right. Hypothetically, I was wrong on that one.
They should just say she literally tried killing him.
Yeah, like if someone said I fucked the shit out of this person, like there's not actually a poo there, you know. So if there was, then that wouldn't be figuratively. But that's right. So it's describing something, but it just being bombastic, you know.
Yeah.
She tried to figuratively kill him while as her relative Daka, an eldest sister's clan, awakens the army of undead Dathomir Night Sisters to hold off the droid forces. Ventress defeats Grievous just moments before getting wounded, forcing her to escape the chaos, as the rest of the Night Sisters are eventually massacred. Grievous went to proceed in killing Daka, whereas Talzin escapes her with her success. As her success in finishing off Dooku is ultimately foiled, the episode closes with a green misty spirit of Mother Talzin bidding farewell and good luck to Ventress, who is now left to grieve for her sisters and lament her lost future. What do you think about that episode? Like I said, that was a lot to get in there.
You've played Fallen Order, so this kind of helps piece a lot of that story together.
100%, because so we've been to Dathomir a few times. I think the only few times was when they created Savage and whatnot. We saw the training, but we'll get into some negatives they have, and it's not even the storytelling, so I won't say that way. But it was now when I played Jedi Fallen Order, spoilers, but you go to Dathomir and you fight like zombie Night Sisters and whatnot. I was like, I didn't say that in the review. It was really video gamey. But it was different to me because I hadn't seen it before, so that made a lot of sense and what was going on there. And now, I know that all their people were killed and massacred, the majority of them. So, What do you think about the episode, though?
The episode, I enjoy it. I really like seeing Grievous and Ventress face off. I'm down to see some Night Sisters going to town, and it was very cool to see Mother Talzin just pop off the way she does because they're very powerful in what they do. But unfortunately, if you take out old Daka, then it's unfortunate because that it ruined them, and that's what ended it for them. Was basically they lost all their power because old Daka died and she wasn't able to boost up the undead army. Mother Talzin just took her sweet ass time. She should have just fucking killed Dooku when she had the chance, and it costed everyone their lives except obviously Ventress and.
Mother Talzin escapes.
She escapes. She's always playing. She's got a different angle. She's trying to be Sheev, but she isn't.
She's trying to be Sheev.
She's got her own agendas in play.
In this series, do we get resolved what happens to her, either life or death? Okay. I know she's going to die then, but I wonder who's going to kill her. Imagine Darth Maul might take her out or something, some really twisted
I'm not going to say, but you're going to fucking love it. Oh, you're going to love it.
I enjoy almost everything about this episode. I love this episode. There's one big con, which I'll get into, that it's just tough, and it's like a larger conversation that Taylor and I will have, but I love everything about this. The fighting was great as far as Asajj
Ventress.
I want to fucking roll. Let's go today. Woo, Asajj. Asajj just continues to be I would put Revan up there for the cool factor, but honestly, if I had to go my favorite canon character, I think Asajj is that. Because Revan, he's cool, but like there's not much of a character there. It's all like what you're putting into him. Like you just get flashbacks of Revan looking for like Holocruxes and stuff like that. So I don't think there's much character, but he means a lot to me. But she's up there. She's great. So her story just continues to evolve, get better. I love the stuff that they did with Dooku and her and Palpatine early on. This was even better than that. Once again, you're just seeing that, man, she's just starting to hate Count Dooku, which sucks because I don't know how it happens, but I know she's a goner. I know that she is dead. So I'm not looking forward to that because she is, anytime she's on screen or the episode about her, I'm engaged just as much as I am to an Obi-Wan episode or maybe a Yoda or Mace episode. So she's great. Like I was saying before I went on that rant, her and Grievous was good. It was just like this like major dick measuring contest as they're both like kind of apprentices at Count Dooku. So that was great. And she took him on pretty well, you know. So I loved the Night Sisters versus all the droids. There's some good imagery and the battles was really well done. And then, yeah, really great depressing ending with just like everyone gets slaughtered. She's alone. There's not much left for her. And obviously that happens in the next few episodes. They explore that. But I just think out of everybody, though, like even more than Obi-Wan, he's gotten some stuff with Satine, but I think she's had the best. There's Ahsoka, but even then, I think she has the best character development in the show. They just do so much with her, and yeah, she's a phenomenal character. I love Asajj. So the part I'm gonna I asked you this a little bit last night, so you know where I'm going. My thing is, I'm newer to some of this stuff as far as I play Jedi Fallen Order. I saw a little of it with Savage, but I'm not the biggest fan of the magic aspect, and some of the magic I can go with, and we can talk about that in the Darth Maul episode, but I did not like the voodoo doll. I thought that was too much. I think you got to try and find a balance of in any genre where you can go, and this felt sometimes leaning too much towards Lord of the Rings. Like, people have said that with certain things, like, look at J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. Lots of diehard Star Trek fans don't like it because they feel it feels too much like Star Wars. It's too adventurous. It's not about really inner conflict. So that to me was this, where this feels Star Wars is a sci-fi fantasy. It's more fantasy than it is sci-fi because most of the stuff isn't based on science fiction. So it is more fantasy. I think they just went almost too medievally, too like I said, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter-ish, and I was already uneasy about the magic stuff, but like I said, the things that they did do, and okay, Taylor's explained this to me, this is like a messing of the dark side of the Force in a way, using it in a different light, so I can get that, but this episode in particular to me went too far to that side of fantasy, and like I said, a voodoo doll to me was like, this is a little cheesy for Star Wars in my opinion. I like voodoo. I've looked into it a lot, but it just didn't work for me in this show, and I don't know if it would work in Star Wars, and I think that's a reason why I'm also, as the description goes, I'm the movie lover of this group, and they've never done that in the movies, and I don't think they're really gonna, because I think they kind of know there's some stuff that's a little hokey. Maybe we'll get there one day in the TV shows, but movies, I don't know. So how do you feel about magic and like a voodoo doll? Like, do you not feel voodoo dolls too far in the magic world, or?
No, because I mean, again, it's
really
not
Count Dooku.
It's not necessarily magic. Like,
it is. It's
from
the exact same as voodoo.
There was a certain name for it, but it's an actual
Fortitude.
energy that is like unique to the planet of Dathomir, and you
Yeah.
can stack the Force on top of it, essentially. So I'm not even sure if this is considered canon.
Clone Wars, no. JJ says no to Clone Wars.
Well, originally it says here like a rogue Jedi was exiled to Dathomir, and she taught her powers of the Force to her children there, giving them an evolutionary advantage over the planets of their inhabitants. Which is probably why, you know, the Night Sisters were the dominant race over the males, the Zabraks. But I'm
not asking. Put your canon away. Put your explanations away.
well, no.
You don't like you're fine with the voodoo doll being in Star Wars.
Oh yeah, I think so because it's the Force does a lot of weird things, and later on, like some of the stuff that you see the Palpatine whipping out, it gets pretty crazy what you can do with the dark side of the Force. It's a very powerful thing, literally, and this is canon, like he says in the movies. The dark side of the Force is a pathway that many people consider to be unnatural.
And I guess I could do that. I also said to you, I think it's just the way they visually do it with the green spirits. And
That's the stuff that's like part of the planet itself.
Yeah, and that I just don't like. That to me is too Harry Potter. It's too Voldemort, and that's where I think also visually, I think if you did it in a different way, this to me does, like I said, feels too Doctor Strange. It just feels too magic for me. That's the thing. I know that it is some sort of dark side stuff, and maybe the Palpatine stuff will work better, but this stuff, I think it was the voodoo doll in particular, because that is literally just like, it's the same thing people say, like, why is Han Solo say hell in Empire Strikes Back? Because they never talk about heaven or hell in Star Wars and what's their ideology. That to me is another thing. That one doesn't bug me, but the voodoo doll is where it hits so close to home, like in our real world. It's like, I don't think a voodoo doll would be in Star Wars. I really don't.
But it's not even necessarily like it's a voodoo doll.
It
it's
is a voodoo doll.
There's
it looks like Count Dooku. She hurts the doll. Count Dooku gets hurt. That's a fucking voodoo doll.
It's
I've ever
artifacts
seen one.
that people are attached to, you know. So it's just one of those things.
Attached to a toy that looks like himself.
But yeah, it's I don't have a problem with it. I enjoyed the episode. I think it was very fitting, and the Night Sisters too. And it's very impressive because old Daka is the only one who's learned that magic and is capable of resurrecting like dead Night Sisters until obviously Fallen Order.
And
but
you're fine with the zombies as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's again, from what I've learned, there's certain magics on Dathomir where you're borrowing power, you have to repay that power, and if you can control this power as well, you can use it for a lot of very dark things. And the Night Sisters are powerful because of, you know, who they are. They're the ones who gave Darth Maul to Sidious. They're the ones who supplied Savage Opress. So they're very powerful. Like Savage didn't even have the Force, but they were able to give him that capability, right? And make him more stronger and manipulate his body. So they know what they're doing. They're very strong and powerful, but against the droid army, it's not an easy win, that's for sure. And yeah, it ends on a very sad note where all the Night Sisters get killed.
Very depressing, that shot. She's just like is she holding Daka, right, I think? At one point,
no,
where she's
Daka was in that cave and just get popped.
Right,
and
because she was holding somebody at the end. I thought I saw
she was hurt, and then her friend was carrying her, and then her friend gets shot in the back and dies. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, but just
adding layers to the way she is.
Oh
and
yeah.
she is, yeah.
This whole that's a party I'd be down to go to, a Night Sister party. Remember they were all like they were dancing because Asajj was a Night Sister.
yeah. That's definitely a planet. Dathomir is. It's a planet I'd like to visit. It's up there. So I don't know if it's up there as like the Twilight healing baths, but it's close. So.
Yeah, it adds so much more to Ventress, that's for sure. And I like where she goes. I didn't like her as much when she was just a Sith assassin. I like her now on this journey where she's going.
Assassin, she was just pretty one note. It's just she's there to take you out and whatnot. But I think that it works now looking back on it.
It does. It really does. Fun fact, I believe she hooks up with Quinlan Vos. This isn't revealed in Clone Wars, but it's like another separate story.
Why can I not place who Quinlan Vos is?
Remember that episode where you were like Obi-Wan and you said if you were a Jedi that you'd be Quinlan Vos? He jumps down with the long hair.
She hooks up with him? Yeah. Where is that? It's not canon anymore, though, is it?
No, this isn't a legend story. This is a canon story.
From where?
I think it's a novel on Asajj Ventress. I think it's like Dark Disciple, I think. Or
wow.
I'll pull up the cover for you. But yeah, I just thought you get a kick out of that.
Why him?
I don't know. They just form an attachment.
Of all the people, but I respect him as he's a Jedi. That is apparently is he out and open that he's just DTF?
I don't know. Yeah, that's them there. And she's got hair too and that. I really want to read the book. I want to know more about that story.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. Christy Golden, yeah, I've heard good thing based on upcoming. But this says based on produced episodes. Right, I had heard that because it's written by Katie Lucas, or it was. She was writing some of them, right? Yeah. Wow, she has hair there. Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely read that. I'm not a fan of him, but
you don't love
no. What was his name?
Quinlan Vos.
Even his name sucks. I will give this episode again, or this is the first one we're doing really. A thumb. Why are you laughing over there, Taylor?
It's been a long night.
It hasn't actually been too long. It's been a long day. A thumb and 75% again. I'm cheating with these, because I think there's one episode in the past I just gave like a thumb and a half, but I think this one's better. But it's just the witch voodoo stuff I'm not not overly fond of it.
I'll give this one 2 thumbs up. I'm really digging at what they're putting down. I loved.
That's like 5 episodes in a row you've done 2 thumbs up.
These are good episodes. They're really good.
Bounty. An aimless Asajj Ventress joins a team of bounty hunters, including Boss and Dengar, under leadership of a preteen Boba Fett. On an alien world, they undertake a precious, profitable subterranean delivery mission that tests the limit of their skills and strength of Asajj's character. I guess. Realizing the familiar love is virtue throughout the galaxies and her powers are needed by many. Ventress finds a sense of closure and hope for her future after all. Some of these readouts are just crazy. Like, I don't even think that did a good job of it. Gave us the ending of like what happens to Ventress, but it didn't give us that middle point of like what the thing is. What did you think about this episode?
I really
love this episode. 5 out of 2 stars.
Well,
2 thumbs up.
I really enjoyed it, but it had some moments I didn't, wasn't super excited for. But I like Ventress embracing the bounty hunter way. I love Dengar popping off. I know you love seeing Dengar popping off on this episode.
Dengar is such a fucking loser, but yeah, I didn't mind it actually. It was funny. I liked the accent he had, so I didn't mind it. I'm just more disappointed when they announced like for a Battlefront game he was one of the characters. Just like out of all the characters you could pick, you're picking Dengar. All right, but all right. Yeah, I think he was used all right. Continue.
There were certain moments that I enjoyed. I love seeing the whole subterranean train escort scenario. It was pretty cool.
You hated Boba being made to look like an idiot, right? That's your whole thing?
It was unfortunate.
Because he is an idiot.
Well, he's not an idiot. I love seeing, because I think
Taylor.
we've talked before about him having different armor, and this is one of those cases where he's got a different armor, and
Yeah,
it
I
looks
didn't like
super cool.
I didn't like the look.
Oh,
I didn't like
love
the
it.
like of the helmet.
So good.
He was whiny in this episode. And I will say this to you. How does Boba Fett die?
Pit of Carcoon.
What?
Pit of Carcoon.
Okay, how'd it get in there?
His jetpack was compromised.
Yeah, by who?
Han Solo.
And what was happened to Han Solo in that moment?
He
was blind.
No, he wasn't fully blind.
He was blinded.
No, he said instead of seeing a dark blur, I can see a white blur, big white blur.
He was blinded. His vision was obscured, correct?
He
Would you
shot
say that? In a
he
court of
shot the
law-
Carcoon's vine and not Lando's leg, so he could see.
In a court of law, though, would you say his vision was still obstructed?
No.
Yeah, it was.
No.
Okay, so here's the other thing. Did Han Solo not just turn backward awkwardly and hit Boba Fett's jetpack?
I don't think he did.
He did. There's footage. You know what? Because Boba Fett sucks. The Mandalorian's better than him. Jango Fett's better than him. And guess what? Phasma's better than Boba Fett.
Okay, no. Mandalorian better? Yes. Jango Fett better? Yeah, I'll give it to you. But Phasma? Hell no. Phasma ain't got nothing on Boba Fett.
Boba Fett has nothing on nothing.
They
Look
failed
at this episode.
with
This
Phasma.
guy's running this bounty hunter leadership, and he ends up in a box. A stupid ass kid
Against Ventress? That's reasonable. Ventress could put whoever she wants in a
But
box.
to me, he should have found a way. If this is a great bounty hunter, I'm fine with it. I'm not offended. I'm just saying that you got to come to terms there that he is a terrible character. He is not good at his job. He's a poser. He's not.
Well,
even a
he
real
was
Mandalorian.
trained by a shit bounty hunter, Aura Singh.
Well, I guess so. Well, she's dead by fucking Woody Harrelson, so she is a shit bounty hunter. Stupid canon. So dumb. Canon's so annoying. I liked this episode a lot from all just the Asajj stuff. I have some questions, but I like the episode. It's not one that stands out to me as one of the best of the season, but it was really solid. I liked the dynamic of them approaching her. I liked her just being in this world that she was unfamiliar with, but she handled herself. I liked the adventure they were on. We're talking about Solo, almost like that, like kind of another train robbery. They weren't robbing the train in this situation, but it was they are on the train. Lots of action took place there. I liked the armor, and the person I really liked was I can't remember the girl's name, but who was the bounty? Her brother's armor. He had those swords, and he had like little jetpacks. I really liked the armor there, and I like the setup too. Like Bo was such an idiot. They reveal the bounty, and it's like this young girl, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'll protect you." And then she like slaps him because the brother's like, "This is my brother," and then they just knock him out. And he's like, "He's such an idiot." See, like there's so many times where like he didn't even get overpowered by Asajj. He just like was like, "I'll protect you," and it was just like I found it kind of strange that he would say that because I felt there was a time when we were seeing him earlier on in the seasons that he could have still had some of that emotion, but it felt like when we last left off, he was kind of getting away from that. He wasn't really. I don't think he would care that there was a little girl in this box. Where this one was like, I can help you. So I found that a little off-putting. I didn't think it was warranted for the Boba I feel like they had set up when we last seen him, and I was kind of just set off guard how much older he is already. I feel like not that much time has passed since we've seen him, but he's like a preteen and everything. So I like the episode a lot. It's a good, fun, solid episode. I like the setup. Yeah, do you have anything more to say?
No, I'll give this one thumb up. It was decent, but nothing too extravagant.
Yeah, I'll give the one thumbs up. The only thing I will say is two things. One, I love when Asajj just murders that guy in the pub. He's just like, oh, hey, babe, my bald woman or whatever. I love that she just like just kills him, and everyone looks and the music stops, and then they go back to do what they're doing. The only thing that was weird is I felt like Bosk was like hitting on her a little bit. He's just
he was.
It was weird. It was just like, oh, someone with your certain disposition would be great for the team. It was like, oh man, what is this? Like, why is this happening? And there's a few things that I didn't find clicked as well, and that's why it's only a thumb up for me. Is one, I don't feel Bengar. That's what they should have named Ben Solo. That's his full name, Bengar Solo. So I was like, hey, I know this guy. One, Dengar and Bosk. I get Bosk because he had some relationship, but I still don't buy where Boba is, that he would be the leader in this situation. I could agree that they are a gang, and maybe Boba thinks he's the leader and he's always talking up and he has the plans. But for them to be like, oh, who's your leader? And they all say it's Boba or allude to it. I didn't buy that right now. I'm joking with Boba Fett. I love Boba Fett. You know, he's cool. He does lots of great stuff. I just think when you actually break it down, he's a shit character.
It's the nicest thing you ever said about him.
Yeah, I think I love Boba Fett. I would have loved The Mandalorian if it was about Boba Fett. But like, I can love something and point out the flaws. I love Boba Fett, but I can point out he's a shit character who's done nothing without Darth Vader in this canon. So I didn't think that there was warrant that they were following Boba. And then the other thing I didn't like was, so she kills a guy, and that he's part of their little bounty hunter squad. And then they're like, oh, we're down a man. You owe us. They made it sound like they were going to do something about it. It's just like, like, none of you are going to take out Asajj's venture. So I didn't like that. I wish they would have just led with the, like, oh, we're down a person. You want to make some money? Like, I wish they would have been a bit more sly about it. But at first I started a little threatening, and she didn't even threaten them back that much. But I didn't like them threatening her in a way, because like, you just saw her easily take out this guy. I feel like she'll easily take out you guys. So I felt like there's some moments that weren't the most well thought out in this one.
Yeah. First of all, I love the Bosk flirtation thing. I think that's great, and I think that they all
work.
they all look up to Boba because of respect for his father, Jango. Jango is the top tier, so they all have that respect, and they're looking out for him. And you know, he probably does bring a lot to the table in terms of plans and ideas. I think that attempt on Mace Windu when Boba went in as a cadet, I think that was all his plan.
Respects him. What?
I think that was his plan.
It was, yeah, but it didn't. Here's the thing. If it worked and he killed Mace Windu, then I get it. It didn't work.
But he took down a Venator-class cruiser, so that's pretty decent.
But he didn't take down his target.
Close, but it...
So, if you were to... So if you are trying to pass a test and you have 49%, and then the teacher goes, close, they still don't pass you, though. You didn't pass your test. You may have done other things. You may have written this great answer somewhere. You may have this it might have been a exam of a bunch of questions, and there's one part you did really well. It was really well spoken. But when they said, okay, explain the theory of relativity, you just said, you just put IDK for I don't know. And then they're like, well, all right. So that's what I mean. Like, he still failed that mission. He didn't complete it.
Yeah, he failed it.
Thanks, Taylor. Are we ready to move on to next episode?
Yeah.
Let's see. I have it. Brothers, here we go. Getting into some juicy stuff with a magical amulet that from Mother Talzin, which we got literally a year ago. We got that at the end of season 3. So this was a long wait for me.
But yeah, you have to remember how the episodes are chronologically
stupid.
placed.
I don't care. And I wish Disney
Travis
Plus had
hates
an
it.
option that you could shuffle it and watch it in that order.
Well, it's not fun if you do it that way. You gotta...
What? No.
You gotta
it's
Google
not fun
it.
if you watch it in the chronological order.
No.
Fuck you.
No, it's not
fun
fun if Disney organizes it for
yes,
you.
it
No, because you gotta
She
go.
died.
You gotta go on Google and
I'm
figure
a
out what
father
you
of
watch.
2. I only have so much time in my life, Taylor Field. I don't have time to map out the charts of like, I'm gonna watch this episode, watch this episode. Just do it, Disney
Just
Plus.
do it.
Brothers, magical amulet for Mother Talzine. So, because Mother Talzine, she's still alive after the massacre, right?
She's alive.
Right, I asked you that already. But so do you think this episode this episode did take place after
Because
Massacre?
he asked like, what's going on?
So annoying. Savage Press lands on a junk planet in the Outer Rim, which I liked. All this searches for his lost brother with his help from a snake-like Morley. With help of a snake-like Morley. That's a weird way because his name's Morley. They're saying right, but then they're saying like a snake-like Morley. So it's way.
I don't know what a Morley
there.
is.
I think that's his name. Savage finds his brother, discovering that he is no less the Sith Lord Darth Maul, which I guess I feel like we kind of knew that, who has been driven to insanity from his bisection and near-death experience. Taylor, what did you think about this episode?
When I first saw this episode, I was very panicked because I didn't like the spider body on him at all. It was weird.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. You go.
But that being said, like I remember at the time this season was being unveiled, and there were like clips of Mother Talzin showing Darth Maul in the globe or whatever, and I wasn't sure if people were wondering, are they bringing him back? Is he rumored to come back? Like, what's the thing here? Is it just like a flashback to him? But bringing him back, in my own personal opinion, turns into being one of the best things that Star Wars has done. And it totally fits because my prime example is look at Anakin as the canon version and then Darth Sion as the Legends version. When you die or when you are like injured as a
What'd
Sith.
you say?
When you die or
No, what'd you say before?
Darth Sion.
Who's Darth Sion?
You don't know him from the Old Republic? He's in Knights of the Old Republic 2.
No, I don't remember.
He's basically his body is held together by his hatred.
Yeah, I always forget his name. I love his look.
Yeah,
he's just
super
like
cool.
smoldering all the time. Yeah, I always forget his name. I always forget his name, and I always forget who's the other main one in the first one. Is his name like Malik or something?
Yeah, there's Darth Malik
Yeah.
and Revan, and then Helis and Sion.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, between the, Anakin and Darth Sion, both of them, their hatred is what basically keeps them alive. Like when Anakin is in pure fucking rage mode on Mustafar, his hatred is keeping him alive. So it's just that goes to show again the dark side of the Force is a pathway that many consider to be a natural. It keeps you alive if you're angry, like it's your power just beaming off of you, and that's what Darth Maul right now. He's just going to town on that eggnog. Oof. Darth Maul, he died in anger, and watching Phantom Menace, I could see it when he fell down that shaft. His face was not happy.
I hate that because it's clearly a dummy. It's so annoying. I wish they shot that better, but it's fine.
But yeah, that just this whole time it's been over 10 years, and he's just a completely insane. And you even sent me a message saying why the long horns, and I'm like, well, if I was cut in half, I'm not going to be cutting my fingernails.
A Dathomir resident walks into a bar, and the bartender says, "Why the long horns?"
He's not Hellboy. He's not filing those puppies down all the time, to fit in. But yeah, I love how the snake was pulling Savage's leg, trying to trick him into, as being like his lunch or whatever for Maul or something like that. And another thing I was wondering too, I'm not sure, is this the same garbage planet that we get to experience in Force Unleashed?
You're the canon boy. Why'd you ask me?
Well, I thought you might know because you're a Force Unleashed junkie.
I am on the junk planet, but no, I don't know actually.
I'll take a look.
So, really, really like this episode. It was a great build-up. My two cons are, one, I hated the snake. The snake was way too Jungle Booky, Disney-fied. I didn't like it. This was before Disney, so I did not like the snake. The snake was annoying with his voice, everything he said, so I wish they used something else. I did not like it. I like that the snake went out. I also hate snakes in general, but he just choked the snake and threw him in the fire. But I thought everything that was going on this episode, the build-up to finding Maul, I absolutely loved the planet they were on. It was Mad Maxy, almost Death Stranding. Like there's a part in Death Stranding that's kind of like this, and it was just fun. This world, because sometimes when people go and hide out places, it's just like, how did no one find this person? Right? They're not that far. It's something like Luke Skywalker, pretty good, and Yoda, pretty good. I'm not talking about in Star Wars, just movies in general. Like, oh, they're hidden somewhere. It's just like, well, they were, just a little far off there, and even when you went there, it's just like you had to take a couple passes and they're there. Where this is like, one, it's on the outer rim, so that's cool. But two, it's just like all this stuff. It's not even a maze. It's just like there's so much garbage and so much stuff there. It's like he could be anywhere, and even when you get there, he's in the depths of the garbage. So I love that location. So that's where the snake, that took away from it for me. And I didn't love the actual spider look because I didn't know it was like that. I knew he had spider legs at one point, but I thought it was just 4 legs, and that's why people call them spider legs, because it'd be like that. But I didn't know it was like with the back and the actual spider. So did they ever explain how he got that way?
Not that I know of.
Because somebody would have had to give him that, right? I don't think Darth Maul, was he a technician?
Oh yeah, I mean, any
you say that like me, who's only seen Phantom Menace, would know that Darth Maul's a technician.
Well, no,
yeah.
If you think about how much tech savviness he has, he built his dual lightsaber blade.
But was he the first to do that ever?
To what? Build a lightsaber?
Dual lightsaber.
No.
Well, then I don't think
but
it's that tech heavy.
He
if
taught
you bake
himself
something, and then I just watch you, and I also
no,
bake
but
something.
he taught himself. He didn't watch Palpatine make it. All Jedi and
but
Sith,
I'm sure there
they
was
make
books
their
or
own
studies he could have looked into.
Sure, but then that leads, he knew how to handle droids and work on his ship, the Scimitar, and all that stuff. So he's got a fair amount of knowledge.
I think there's a lot different to that than then building an entire snake body.
Snake body.
It was snake legs, I guess.
Spider body, but I mean like.
Whoa, I said snake?
You said snake.
Okay, I'm like, why are you giving me shit? Like, I've said nothing wrong.
But yeah, he probably had moments where maybe there was just tech lying around, or maybe it was like some spider droid and he just mounted himself.
I just feel like I don't need it fully explained, but just the fact that he was on Naboo, he had to crawl out of there, he had to fly. Like, how did he get to this planet?
When you get dumped into trash, like a trash compactor, he kind of takes you far away, right?
Yeah, fair enough. I'm fine with it, but I wish it was a bit more subtle. I don't think he needed to do it. I like the imagery when he was around and he would like look like a spider, but I didn't like the look of him, and I just was like, I feel like this is a little. He would have needed some help with this.
Yeah.
I really do. And even then, why do you make it exactly like a spider?
Maybe he did
like,
have help. I don't know.
Why do you even add like where the web comes out, like the back and everything?
Beats the hell out of me.
Yeah. For me, I would give this a 1.5 because, like I said, the snake really took away from me because the snake is in this episode a lot, and I did not like that. So.
I give this a thumb and a half, like you. I can confirm this planet is called Lotho Minor, and the junk planet in Force Unleashed is Raxus Prime. So
is
I think
Raxus Prime even canon anymore?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the aesthetic of a planet that's just totally used for garbage. It's not a job I would want to be working there,
AKA Earth. What was I gonna say? Also, between this episode and the other the episode coming up, the amount of times that Savage oppresses brother is ridiculous. If you took a shot every time he says brother, I would have been drunk by the end of it. That's not because I don't drink, but just like brother. Every time he sees him, brother. it's just like shut up. Like, we get it's your brother. Now we're into the finale of season 4. Here we go. Simply titled Revenge, fueled by hatred. I will say, before we get into this, between last episode and this episode, Sam Witwer does a great job. I know we've talked about on Solo, and I've seen clips of him as Darth Maul, so I've seen a few of this before, but because my curiosity. But now seeing it in context, the full show, he just kills it, and he does a great way of developing his own voice, but still finding that balance of kind of the few lines we did get from Darth Maul. Because when I first heard Sam Witwer initially, I was like, oh, it sounds a bit too Sam Witwer, but in the show, it sounds great. And I do want to say that I like where this episode is going, which I'll just read this and we'll talk about it. Fueled by his hatred, Darth Maul and his brother Savage Opress set out to take revenge on the Jedi who sliced him in half on Naboo over 10 years earlier. Maul sends a message to Obi-Wan to confront him alone by murdering inhabitants of a village of a distant planet. Upon arrival, Kenobi is attacked by both Maul and Opress, and they leave the planet with Kenobi as a prisoner. Obi-Wan receives aid from an unlikely ally, Asajj Ventress, now a bounty hunter after a 1 million credit bounty on Opress.
Holy shit.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Outmatched, Obi-Wan and Ventress flee Maul and Savage in the ship's cockpit, leaving the two Dathomir brothers patiently stage their next move, with Maul vowing to exact his revenge on Obi-Wan. I did pretty good. That was a big paragraph.
You did good. I'm just going to say this. In the episode, they did not confirm 1 million, I don't think.
I think they just said a high price bounty or something like that. They said something about being high category or just a very like not worthy but like luxurious like a lucrative not lucrative what is it like and ludicrous is the rapper what is the and luxurious something I'm losing it lucrative yeah that's what I thought they said it was just a very lucrative bounty but yeah I don't think they ever said 1 million but good for them so
yeah.
who put that on them like that
would have been definitely Dooku. And maybe maybe someone in the Republic, but I don't think the Republic really would have done that. I think it would have been the Separatists.
He did do a lot of damage at the Republic though, and he was a threat, and he wasn't with
True,
them.
But I don't think the Republic would outsource like that. It's again as we saw in the previous episode that we just did for Clone Wars Retro, the Separatists got bounty hunters to assassinate the Chancellor. So yeah, that's their kind of motto.
So the one thing I was going to ask before we get in this episode. I loved this episode. I think this was a perfect episode. This is top tier episode. Very well done. Even though Darth Maul has been gone and there's not much of a build up, I think they did a good job in the 22 minutes of making it feel like there's been a build up for him. That history of Obi-Wan when Obi-Wan just kind of calls him I'm not familiar with their acquaintance or anything, and Darth Maul's trying to remind him and he's like, oh, it is you. Like just the barbs back and forth when he's just like, oh, remember when I gutted your master in front of you? Really good stuff. Yeah, because I have some specifics to get into, but I love this episode. This is easily, I'm spoiling my review. This is a 2 out of 2. This is or 2 thumbs out of 2 thumbs. This was a great episode, good build, and it made me very excited. It made me want to watch the next episode right away. I haven't because we were doing retro, but I was enthralled with it from beginning to end.
Yeah, this is definitely a very good introduction to what Maul is fully capable of, and it just scratches the surface of what to expect with Maul and where they go with his story, because it gets real juicy. I have to say, it gets really dark when they're playing the transmission and Maul just walks past the villagers and just fucking cuts them down.
Ahsoka style.
Oh, yeah, Ahsoka style. And their bodies fall, and everyone's watching. It's like, holy crap.
Oh, no.
My only problem is, obviously, everyone's dead in this village, and so what does it matter? No one else is going to obviously make it alive. So bring a whole battalion with you. Bring the whole Jedi Order and capture him, because this is their one direct link to who the Sith Lord is, which is a pivotal thing. That is a major loose end that they could capitalize on. So get there, do your best to make sure people stay alive, if there are any alive, but there wasn't, and capture him. I think that was a big mistake, and I think Mace Windu was the one who was right, and Yoda should have agreed with that. I think that was a big mistake.
Well, Yoda's been wrong about a lot. If you really break it down, Yoda's a big idiot, because like, who was the person that was leading the charge when the Jedi fell? Yoda.
What do you mean leading the charge when the Jedi fell?
Like Revenge of the Sith. Who was like the master of all masters who was blinded. Like,
yeah, it's Yoda.
It was Yoda. He let
the dark side clouds everything.
Why we listen to this green little fuck, you know?
Because he's 900 years old.
Yeah, I didn't. You brought up some really good points there, because for me, I didn't buy, and that's a problem. It is a 2 out of 2 episode. I have this fun. I would almost want to bring it down, but the rest of the stuff was just so good. It bypassed that. So I can admit that upright, fully front. But same thing was once they were fighting kind of in the middle, I was like, really, no one did go with them. I wasn't sure if someone was going to break that rule and go with them, or if it was like they're hiding it from the viewers, which I didn't think, because they usually don't do that. This was very obvious. If someone's bad, they're like, I'm bad, like Whisper Nerds, I'm good. So I was surprised, and I don't think it made much sense why Obi-Wan was there alone, because it just felt like you don't know the situation, especially last episode. I did not personally love Yoda sensing that Savage Opress found Darth Maul. I don't think that, because I think whenever, as far as I've seen so far, big moments are something like Order 66, or maybe someone close to him dying, or like him sensing another Dark Sith. To me, Darth Maul is big and all, but I didn't think him finding him would trigger in a force kind of wave through the galaxy for Yoda to feel. I know Yoda's all powerful, but I still think there are layers to it. I thought it was small enough for him not to be able to sense it. I think they just did that for the episode for him to be, oh, Darth Maul's alive, Obi-Wan. But like, I didn't like him sensing that. Do you think like you have a problem with that? Or?
No, I think it was a good imbalance that he could have sensed, because if it was something that if the Sith, were extinct for a millennium, and then all of a sudden they encounter this feeling and this imbalance in the Force and Phantom Menace, that's something that they wouldn't forget. And I think Yoda, of all people, would definitely be able to sense that again. you know.
I guess, but here's my problem with it was, so he senses it, but Darth Maul's been alive this whole time, so why does he sense it now? Just because Savage finds him?
Because it's an imbalance, you know. Maul was not a problem or anything concerning the Force or anything like that, but then obviously when he was found by a Force user, it created this again an imbalance to more chaos that will be looming in.
Yeah, I can buy it enough, but I just was that for me was that one's not a big problem. Them sending Obi-Wan alone, especially because Yoda doesn't he say like, oh, Savage found his brother or something like that, Darth Maul. He knows Obi-Wan's going in underhandedly, especially Savage at this point. He's an enhanced Sith user, whatever, dark side user. He's very powerful. He's taken on Obi-Wan and Anakin by himself at points. So it's like, you're going to send Obi-Wan against that guy who double, like, 1v2.
Well, they don't know. Yoda didn't know that Savage was there because even Obi-Wan was shocked when Savage jumped behind him.
But I thought that episode ended with him saying that Savage had found. Maybe it was just like, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he said that his, like, something's been revealed and it's your whatever, the Sith that you fought years ago. Bob. So,
yeah,
okay.
that's what they say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they had any connection to it being Savage being there.
And that's the other reason why. So maybe not even Savage, but that's the thing where, so Darth Maul is alive. It's been how many years since Phantom Menace?
Probably 12.
You have no idea what you're walking into. It's been 12 years. Why has this guy not been around? Why is he popping up now? You're not going to send anybody in?
That's why they thought.
Not even stay by. Like,
that's why they thought maybe he was just a poser or a ripoff or something.
Yes, but again, that was such a dumb decision. I was even surprised because I can't remember. Does Anakin get wind of this or no?
Anakin, I don't.
He was
This
in
isn't
these
much of a spoiler,
episodes.
but I don't think he faces off against Maul at all.
At all in the series?
I don't think so.
Really? Because I heard, I don't know the context of it because you're watching it right now. The Darth Maul Rebel stuff, people said that Maul is very scared of Vader. Like if someone mentions Vader, and I don't even know the dialogue, but he gives some lines like,
yeah,
oh, I don't want to be.
He doesn't like Vader.
So that's why I was to be surprised that they didn't face off.
But I don't think he knows Anakin.
Yeah,
like-
fair enough. Why is he so scared of Vader? Just because he's Vader?
Just because he's Vader. Like what I watch now, he fucking takes 3 Inquisitors out like that. Like Maul's
Yeah.
fucking badass, but when Vader pops up, like Maul is just out.
Yeah, I know they even said that. They're like, oh, it'd be fun to do a Maul Vader fight, but we just didn't think it fit the story. But I don't care. They
Maybe in that
fucking did
Obi-Wan
Rebels.
series.
I don't think a 3-way between them. Vader, I found you. Maul, you're still alive. And then Qui-Gon's like, hello. Yeah, what else about this episode? We talked about Obi-Wan. Yeah, Obi-Wan just got his shit kicked in. I love that they like ruffled up his hair and he was like looking dirty and stuff like that. I loved everything, like I said already, Darth Maul was saying. I love that Asajj. I like the minor setup because they set up last episode about the credit and her being the bounty hunter. I was wondering if she was going to come in, but I loved the partnership between Obi-Wan and Asajj, and like they were forming that already a little bit because I think he saved her life, didn't he? I think when we left off.
Well, he
Like last season they were fighting, but I think there was an opportunity where he could have killed her or she was in danger and he saved her and she was kind of like, oh, Jedi. But it feels like she kind of owed him one a little
I
bit.
can't remember, but it didn't seem like it was an IOU. It seemed more like, she's just turning over a new leaf. And
See,
she
I
just saved him.
not IOU in the sense of like she literally owes him, but just in a way that he would do the same for me in this situation. That even though we've been enemies and we've crossed paths in battle, he has stuck his neck out for me. So I'm gonna do the same here. And I like their partnership. I loved seeing Obi-Wan with the red lightsaber.
Oh yeah,
that was badass. Oh, red's not my color, but like that was great. It was like same thing when Rey got it in Last Jedi. Anytime you switch up characters with lightsaber colors, it's always a good time. So that was fun, and it was just the imagery of just like all these red lightsabers going at it, looking very.
There's a lot of red going on.
There's 5 red blades, and they're going very Kotar. So why do you think does Darth Maul eventually get his double bladed back? So I'm gonna say he does because I'm Savage dies and he takes his brother's lightsaber. I'm gonna say it's something like that.
I so badly want to talk about this, but I can't.
Is it in Rebels or is it in this?
You'll find out in this.
Well, yeah, then don't
I
tell.
so
We'll
badly want to talk about it, but I can't. You'll have to wait and see.
But just give me a yes or no. Does he get it?
No.
No. Okay. So yeah, that's interesting because I don't mind with the one lightsaber, but it's weird seeing with the lightsaber. So
I prefer him with double. Like in Rebels, he has a double red lightsaber,
and it's Solo.
And it's
So
Solo.
somehow
Fuck, it's so good.
Somehow he got it back. So I'm guessing either. Well, then my other guess is that him and Savage have a falling out, and maybe it doesn't go too well. So, because Darth Maul, that was the thing. How did you feel when you first watched it? Because I liked the switch, but at first, I did like what they did with him when he was insane, but I had never seen those full clips. So for me, I liked that. She did like that's the type of magic I like. She kind of did the mind control thing, fixed him, everything like that, and he was realized like remembering things and more sane. I liked that magic, and I liked now the process back when he was insane. I was glad he wasn't that the whole way through because not even in a way that would have been a bad story. It's just I think it was a lot in that scene. He's very overbearing in a good way. Sam Witwer is just like. He's just yelling and he's very crazy and he's rambling. I think too much of that could have got a little repetitive. So I like that we got a glimpse of that, but then they fixed him. But how did you feel the very first time you saw this insane like Darth Maul, who was like he's completely lost his mind?
I thought that we weren't gonna get the Darth Maul that I wanted.
That's what I thought. Like I knew it was gonna happen because I've seen this, but I thought I was gonna get a few like episodes of he's gonna be or like a season of he's crazy pants Darth Maul and they really need to rehab him.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't go that long. I'm glad that they quickly 2 episodes they fixed him and made him normal.
You got a glimpse of what he's been like, but
yeah, and that's all
enough.
you need. You don't need to see his whole life story of 13 years. Why he was just so insane. I like seeing him all loopy chasing the green light, and then he was like, just put into this trance and just screaming and freaking out. And it was super cool to see the magic kind of like meld away these awesome looking robotic legs. And
that was kind of weird that she built robot legs.
Well, she took all the droid parts.
Yeah.
And then it like smelted it into that.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it was very cool to see. And I like when he woke up and he like against him, I was just like, brother. And Maul grabs him and like looks and he's like, brother. Like very angrily.
They're brothers, but they had no connection. They're just like brothers by blood, really. Like that's not.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, they all were kind of brothers there, but I guess it's just he's just from the same like family chain,
same village.
Or whatever. Yeah, same village. What else? I'm trying to look and see if there's anything else. But yeah, I love the way it ended, and I like the people have used the line before, like, but I waited this long, I waited a little bit longer, and it made me excited because I see that first thumbnail episode on Disney Plus's Maul, and I'm like, I can't wait to get more into this. So like I said, I had some problems with it there, but this is one that I fully admit that just because the awesomeness and everything else that sure was there a little like, why is he alone? Didn't make sense, but it set up great stuff. And Asajj, she didn't get much character stuff in here other than saving Obi-Wan, making that turn, but she just was a badass episode and she was a great addition. And I liked her and Obi as a combination instead of him and Anakin. I think she fit better because of her history with them, and just I don't know, this felt like a very dark side type of episode, and I think Anakin didn't need to be there because that could have triggered some stuff for him that we don't. It should have been about Obi-Wan and Darth Maul, and it was, so that's why I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed when they were fighting and Asajj rescued her, and all the red lightsabers was super cool, and I liked when they were separated and Maul and Obi-Wan are on the top platform, and Maul is trying to compromise Obi-Wan, and says, how did you feel when I gutted your master Qui-Gon and you could do nothing but watch? So I totally just throwing him down, and then it compromises Obi-Wan, and then he's like, it's not the Jedi way for you to let your emotion or whatever in, and it's just so good. He kicks the crap out of them, and it shows like how powerful the two of them are. But then you can also see how sloppy Savage is in his fighting. He just like swings his whole arm, and if he lands the blow, it totally just throws the guy back. But he's got no fucking technique.
No,
Maul is all about technique.
Yeah. Kind of. He's still not at peak Maul because he stumbled a few times in this episode.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Used to those legs,
he's getting used to it, and he's recuperating and building his strength back up. I love seeing him like have that trouble using the Force to pull the lightsaber back. That was really cool. But the track that we're on now is really just leading to some super, super good stuff. The Clone Wars is going to be great. I can't overhype it because when I overhype it, Travis gets let down.
I agree. Don't overhype it. What do you ever rate in this episode?
This is a 2 thumbs up.
Boom. So next will be season 5. We got 22 episodes of that. I'm not sure how we're going to divvy that up. I don't want to look too much into spoilers, but same way, usually a 4 or a 5 or blah, blah. Oh, good. That's season 4. I saw Gungan attack. I'm like, oh no more Gungan.
Yeah, more Gungan stuff.
And then season 6, which I'm excited for, but I'm not looking forward because it's just like a bunch of random episodes, isn't it?
There's one story arc that's a little bit random, but no, the other two, you get some heavy, deep Order 66 stuff, and then you get some real good Yoda, Qui-Gon immortality stuff.
Is Qui-Gon in the episodes? Okay. I hope they're good. So, Season 5 is going to be up next. Taylor, where can they find Season 5 if they want to stay tuned?
Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, you
Watch
can find
along.
us with your internet connection in the search bar. You can find us on Facebook. Go to Facebook, type in Geek for Space Podcast, and you're going to find lots of good stuff, lots of Clone Wars stuff, and probably our Rise of Skywalker review and
I
all
think
this
it's
other
definitely
stuff.
out.
Last Jedi
it's,
commentary.
It's definitely out or coming out. I would say they're out. Go back in the feed. They're all there. Last Jedi commentary track, Mandalorian reviews, everything like that. So, because I think these will be dropping in January. These ones. So
we've finished the Mandalorian then by this time.
yeah,
Holy crikey.
the greatest Star Wars TV show of all time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Clone Wars is pretty good.
It's getting good. It's getting good. Ladies and gentlemen, description down below is where you can find the video and audio feeds if you want to follow along. Patreon, if you want to support us on there, we'd really appreciate it. Right now, we have lots of content that is just on the feed, the main feed. So we don't have lots of Patreon content going up right now, but 2020, we're going to release a whole like phase, like MCU, like phase 1 of Patreon, phase 2. You're going to see a bunch of stuff we're going to do. We got lots of good, fun commentary tracks and exclusive just for Patreon, so you're going to want to get on that. We're going to release a whole info dump at the end of the year. So if you want to just follow the main feeds, go down in the description below. Give us a review if you like what we did here, you like what we do anywhere else. So until next time, until we get to Season 5, may the Force be with you.
Always.